Hello Commanders, and welcome to the 6th installment of our tutorial series. Today we're going to do Ride the Lightning. This is the first Ride the Lightning mission that you'll do, the first of many. And the idea here is to get to the van, get it ready to fly, and then defend it while it charges up. You'll need some blue glow. I started this mission about 15 minutes in. I ran around and farmed and collected some things, and now I'm grabbing some blue glow and headed straight for the van. Now this particular mission runs in 2 waves. The first one comes, you add blue glow to the van, and the first one comes, and then the second one comes after you restart it.
What do you think? I think it's a van, Lars. Hey, it's a state-of-the-art mobile storm analysis.
Just cleaning up and letting Lars and Ray talk.
I need your help. Can you hook me up with a better antenna? I can't go into the storm without those husks mobbing the van.
All right, Lars, we have an idea. I prepared the van propulsion device. Deploy when you're ready, Commander.
Alright, so we need to put a device on the van this first time, and this is the only time we'll have to do that step. And then we'll have to add blue glow to the van once and defend it, and then a second time and defend it. And all we have to do is keep husks from hurting the van. Now if you look in the mini-map, you'll see that little white line. That's the direction they're going to come from, at least for the first wave. The second could come from a different direction. We'll have to see what happens. And we check our traps quick. See that we don't have much, but that's because we're really low level. We do have a couple of wall launchers, the fist, and we'll drop those on these walls, and you'll get a chance to see them in action. Now, wall launchers alone don't hurt husks, they just push them away from the wall so they can't hurt them. So let's go ahead and put a trap up here. Now you can do the ceiling and the trap separate or together. There we go. So they'll run up, hit the wall. The wall launcher will shove them away, and that'll give more time for the traps to reset. So we go in the back, and there's Lars. He'll play big in the story. We'll see him all the way through Candy Valley, and because he's got his guitar, I'm going to dance for him. Well, maybe I'm going to dance for him. There we go. Alright, we have to install the flying device. Alright.
Ray, it's a balloon.
It's a weather balloon.
Will it keep the van in the air?
We'll find out.
Good enough for me?
Add blue glow to prepare.
Alright, now that she said that, the scoop on the front should, there we go. Let us get to mission control, and we can add 2 blue glow and start this up. Now that we started it, the husks are on their way. This early, this is a pretty simple defense. There will be more husks than we've been seeing in most of these, but not a problem. Not so many that you can't pull them off. If you have a friend, play it with them. You can also build trap tunnels if you want. But I really felt it wasn't necessary this early. Now the traps that we used, remember we used what we had, not what we wanted to use. The traps that we used are kind of slow. It takes time for them to reset, so the ceiling zappers have to recharge. So we can't just let them do the job. Now we're out of ammo for our AR, which is unfortunate, but you can make some on the run. And we'll do that once we settle things down here. If you always keep moving left to right, it's harder for the pitchers to hit you. They throw in a straight line, so and it's kind of slow, so you can move out of the path. Since you can't always see them, you'll still get hit like that by one on occasion from the side, but not very often. So this sniper rifle at this level I like. It's generally one shot, one kill. Some people prefer the fast firing but less damage scoped semi-auto. It's really just a question of taste. And most weapons that are good at these levels aren't so good at higher levels, and that's fine. Okay, so you see the numbers are sometimes white, sometimes yellow. A yellow is a headshot or a crit. White is a normal hit. And if you see blue, that will be shield damage. So some husks have shielders attached, so you'll get blue numbers for some of them. And it acts the same as your shield does. When you use up the shield's hit points, the shielder falls off, and then you just fight the husk. Easier to kill the shielder directly first. But as you can see, headshots with this weapon are doing roughly double damage. And the different yellow numbers are because or headshot versus crit. There you go, you see the wall launcher shoving them back, and our timer is almost up, so the first wave is about done. Alright, so now we have to go put blue glow in again, after we check our defenses.
I think we'll need a little more blue glow. Add blue glow and get ready to defend the
Alright.
van.
So normally I put the door down here by the scoop, but because we had to install the device on this first one, I put it in the back. Either way.
Defend the van.
Okay. Here comes wave 2. Wave 2 is longer, and there are usually more husks.
We've got a bonus in play.
And that's okay.
Clear on the husk.
Like I said, good sniper at this level. It just takes care of husks. Huskies are a little bit more of a challenge, but that's okay. Your accuracy will probably not be as good as mine, unless you play a lot of shooter video games. And that's okay, you don't have to be as accurate as I am to stay up with them. And like I said, if you have a buddy, someone to play with, that makes it that much easier. Because then there's two of you shooting them and using your special abilities. You'll notice Teddy is ready to go and I'm not dropping him down. I tend to save Teddy and other similar abilities for when things are not going well. So if I need a timeout, alright, so I found some ammo from a dead husk. I'm going to go ahead and use it up and then we'll make some. So you see the X there with the circle going around it? You can make ammo for a weapon by putting it as the weapon in your hand and holding down whatever button is there for the reload. It's different on different platforms. For me it's an X. You see the X under the 150. You can just hold it down and every time it circles it does one build of ammo like you built it in the armory in the main menu. If you make ammo in a game, you get credit for it toward your final score, and then final scores influence how much treasure you get. Making a little bit of ammo is not going to make the difference, but it's one more thing you can do. And manufacturing ammo increases your utility score, while shooting increases your combat score. And obviously building increases your building score. Hand-to-hand combat also increases your combat score. There we go. Teddy and I cleaned up that growing mess we were getting there. You notice the spawn did turn a little bit. We're not seeing anybody going to the wall launchers, which is unfortunate because they didn't get used that much. But we got some fun with them. We got to see some husks getting thrown. We haven't yet needed the RPG, so that's a good sign because RPGs use a ton of ammo, so you want to use them sparingly. Only if there's a huge group you can take out at once. One thing about making ammo is you have to have the ingredients to make the ammo, or nothing will happen when you do that, or it'll say can't do that. And for most ammo, it's nuts and bolts, coal, and rough mineral powder that you'll need to make it. Some of them require different things like energy ammo requires batteries. And one thing you can do to reduce your dependency on a given ammo is make sure that you have 3 weapons that use different ammo. There's short, long, medium, shotgun, explosive, and energy ammo. So you have a lot of choices for what type of weapons to use. This AR uses short ammo. The sniper uses long ammo, so... And there's our timer. So this went pretty well. We got 0 damage to the van, and Lars is going to take off, assuming that Ray's experiment works. And it does. Time for a dance while the balloon goes into the sky.
That's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Quick, someone airbrush that on velvet. Godspeed, Lars. May the King of Olympus guide your journey.
He always does.
Alright, and we should get some great experience for that, because we got the van out without any damage. And we should get some good loot too. Level 4 loot? Alright. Back to home base we go to see what we got. That's it for Ride the Lightning missions. They get more difficult as time goes on. More husks, tougher husks. They can come from multiple directions. The spawns will completely change between the 2 runs. So the first run's 2 minutes, I believe, and the second one is 4 minutes. And the spawn can turn 180 degrees, so they're coming from the complete opposite direction. So you have to look and make sure that you're built up well in the direction it's coming from. We were lucky, and spawn didn't move much, so our defenses worked pretty well. Alright, we got all the different types of XP,
Hey, Ray, we got some
and a couple schematics. One for the sword and one for the healing pad.
stabilizing the storm. As long as that thing's running, you should.
Healing pads you can drop down like a trap, and if you run over it, it will heal you, and then it takes a little while to reset, but then you can do it again.
Not a competition, Lars.
Fair enough, little robot. You go first.
Hey, there she goes.
If the storm shield is in fact disrupting the storm, then the more powerful the shield becomes, the farther we can explore and the more survivors we can save. There might be one slight complication, but let's talk about it when you visit the shield.
Alright. So, that's it. And if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. And thank you. I hope this adds some value to your gameplay.